Most traders lose money when they're fighting the trend, trying to call the tops or the bottoms, or just trying to look smart in a trending market, trying to be the contrarian and not following the crowd. But the truth is, trading becomes twice, 5 times, or even 10 times easier if you stop predicting and start following the trend. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you would trend trade step by step so you can catch bigger moves in the market without complicating things. Welcome everybody. So before we begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. So first of all, what exactly is a trend? Okay, a trend is defined by the market moving consistently in one direction. Higher highs and higher lows, that means an uptrend. Lower low and lower high, that means a downtrend. Okay, think of it like you're surfing, right? You don't want to surf against the wave. You always want to be surfing with the wave. And the trend is basically your wave. You want to make sure that you position yourself in the same direction as the trend. That makes a whole lot more difference when it comes to looking for easy trade in the market. And of course, easy trades comes with easier profits. And that's what we all want in the market. All right, so for an uptrend, it will look something like this, with higher highs and higher lows, and a downtrend will look something like this with lower lows and lower highs. Now, the trick here is when we're trend trading, we always want to make sure that we are getting in at a position where things are favorable to us, because we are traders and we will have stop loss in the market. And what I mean by that is you don't want to be buying at an area like this, where if you hit the buys and price immediately goes into a drawdown, potentially stopping you out. Instead, where you want to hit the buys are at areas like this, the turning point, and areas like this at the turning point. And if you do that consistently at the right spot, getting in right here with your stop loss right here, taking your trade up to areas like this, you would easily make at least 1 hour to potentially 3 hour profit on every single trade. The same thing would apply for a downtrend. You don't want to be selling as price is moving down. You always want to be selling on a pullback. This right here would be a pullback, and that's where the lower high is formed. Now the next lower high here would be this area right there. Usually in a trending market, you would see your lower high stopping at the SNR, and in an uptrend, the higher low would be stopping at this SNR right here. Those are the areas you want to be looking for the market to turn around. So that's step number 1, identifying the trend and identifying where your support and resistance is in the market. We will head on to the live charts in a short bit, but before that, I want to cover step 2 and step 3. Now, step 2 is relatively simple. You would want to use the 2 time frame techniques. Now, I have a video covering multi-time frame analysis right here. Check it out if you haven't already. But what you would do is isolate this zone right here, go down to 1 time frame lower, and then look at how this move is coming down. So if this move is coming down like this, in a way where it's making lower lows and lower highs on the lower time frame, all you need to do is make sure that the trend changes. And you want to make sure that the trend changes at your higher time frame level, which is right here. If we touch this area and you see the lower low and lower high changes turning into higher highs and higher lows, once you see a test like this, that's where you would be getting in. The very same thing would follow for a downtrend. If, let's say, you are looking at a downtrend and which looks like this, and you are seeing price pulling back into a support equals resistance area, what you want to do is isolate this area, go down 1 time frame lower, and you want to see how that move is going up. As soon as it reaches the higher time frame level, make sure to see the uptrend on the lower time frame turning around. As soon as you see the uptrend turning around, and as soon as you see a test, that's where you would want to get in. Super simple. And for step 3, that's going to be for the exits. For the exits, we'll have a look at it on the live example. Okay, sorry for the short interruption here, but this coming Thursday at 11th of September, 8 a.m. New York City time, I'm going to be hosting a private webinar around how to trade reversal like a pro. Again, for the first time ever on this channel, we're going to be hosting a live webinar. If you have watched any of our reversal video like this one and this one, you're going to love this webinar I'm about to host, because I'm going to give you all the juicy stuff. I'm going to break down everything you need to know about reversal, giving you a step-by-step process which you can follow right after the webinar. So make sure to register with the link below and I'll see you there. Right here, I have the Bitcoin chart. And here you can see that I'm using the EMAs as a guide to understand where we are trending. Now, obviously the market is below the EMA, which means we are in a downtrend. Okay, now we are in a downtrend and we have this move towards the downside, and now we see a pullback coming in. Okay, and once you see that pullback, what you want to do is go down one time frame lower and identify this area right here. Using step 2, look for the uptrend on the lower time frame to slowly die out. So if I pull this out, I have the 15-minute time frame on the right hand side, and I'm gonna go to that area to show you where the trend would change, which is right around here. Now, as you can see, this move right here, if we go down to a lower time frame, it will look like this. Okay, and on the lower time frame, we can clearly see we are in an uptrend, forming higher highs and higher lows. Now, as we form higher highs and higher lows here, you want to pay a really close attention to when does the uptrend turn into a downtrend. Here we see no more higher high is formed and we are forming a lower high. This right here would be where you want to get in. Now, if you get into a trade like that, the risk reward will look something like this. You will get in right around here with your stop loss above the highs, targeting the recent low. Now, this trade alone would easily give you a 3.08 R, and that's step 3. Always make sure that when you are trend trading, getting out at the recent low if you are in a downtrend, or getting out at the recent high if you are in an uptrend. You don't want to push the trade too far, okay? That comes with more advanced analysis that we actually cover in our advanced courses. For a simple technique like this, you don't actually want to go for too high of a target. I will always suggest getting out at the recent low, especially when you are able to pull a 3.08 R trade out of this. Now, there is another trade that came right away right after this one here, and we can see we have another move towards the downside and we have a pullback coming in right around here. Now, let's look at the same area here as price approaches our support equals resistance area, and let's have a look at the lower time frame to see exactly what it looks like. So let's move on to the 15-minute time frame on the right hand side here, and I want to show you where exactly that area is. Now, if you focus at this area right around this spot right here, we are looking at the same area, and let's have a look at the uptrend. We see a very strong move towards the upside. Things are hovering around, not really changing direction. Can't really tell where the trend is going. Sort of try to make higher highs, fail a couple of times, and then for the first time ever right here, okay, we made a lower high and a lower low. This right here is telling you the trend has changed direction. Lower time frame is the first signal that tells you the higher time frame is getting ready to go. Once you see that, get in on the test right around here, and that will look something like this. You would get in right around here with your stop loss at the recent high and then taking the trade down to the recent low. So once we pull this out, it will look something like this, and this would be a trade that would give you a 1.89 R. Pretty much a 2 R trade just following the trend. You see that we barely have any drawdown. We hover around, came back for another test, and then came to profit very, very quickly. Just following the 3-step process, okay? Identifying the support equals resistance area, looking for the change of structure on the lower time frame, and getting out at the recent high or recent low. Now, I want to show you another example that we have here on the Aussie USD, and on the Aussie USD, we can clearly see we are in an uptrend based on the moving averages, right? We are above the moving averages. Let's first mark out where the support equals resistance is, which is right around here. You can even connect the dots all the way towards the left-hand side. We have broken out and a way off. Okay, now second thing, as price comes down into the support equals resistance area, you want to go down to the lower time frame and see exactly where does the change of structure happens. So right here I have the 15-minute time frame, and we can see that on the 15-minute time frame we do have a downtrend coming in. Now I want to draw your attention to when price actually reaches the support equals resistance area and how does the downtrend actually turn around. If I take out the drawing, we see price coming down here like this, okay, making its lower lows and lower highs right around there. And this is the first time we failed to make lower lows. Instead, we made a higher high, this high being higher than this. Again, that's the first sign telling you the trend has changed on the lower time frame. And when you put that together with the higher time frame support and resistance area, all you need to do next is just wait for the test. Soon as the test comes in, that's where you want to get in to look for your entry. This is where you'll be getting in your stop loss below this area, and you will target the recent highs right there. And if you pay close attention to this trade would easily give you a 3.45R profit. Pretty much a 3.5R gain just following these 3-step simple process. So hopefully now you understand how to trend trade. It's a very simple 3-step process. Identifying the trend, which also means identifying where your support equals resistance is. Look for the pullback on the lower time frame. Wait for the structure to break, get in, and then getting out at the recent high or recent low. Remember, when you're trend trading, you're following the bigger players. You're surfing with the wave. You're not going against the wave. So your winning probability is gonna be extra high. The only thing you need to master here is looking for when the pullback ends to resume the trend. Of course, if you like what you have been watching so far, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye for now.